What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are again talking about Amazon FBA costs. What I have for you today is something that I posted already. However, it was hidden in the last portion of my other Amazon FBA costs video. This video specifically, the first part of the video, I tell you all about the different costs that Amazon FBA charges you in order for you to sell on Amazon. And in the second part of the video, I bring you also something related to costs, but it's actually something very different, which is how to know and how to make sure that the product that you are preparing to sell on Amazon will actually be profitable. So yes, when you're doing your calculations, a lot of the costs are the ones I explained on this video. If you want more information on that, make sure to go there and watch. In fact, the act of making sure that you are profitable is something completely different. And I wanted to bring it forward as a separate individual video because I know that a lot of you do not watch my whole videos until the end. Therefore, you probably missed this information, and this is critical. You will need it before you start selling and to make sure that you are profitable as you're selling. This stuff is worth gold, so make sure you watch it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave any questions you may have down below. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So now I will show you an Excel sheet, and I don't want you to be scared, particularly if you do not have experience with Excel, with accounting, with numbers. Like, this is fine. You just need to understand all of the different things that go into your costs and that cut into your costs. Honestly, anyone can learn this. It's just a matter of, do you want to learn it? Do you want to spend the time trying to understand it? And if you do, then it's here for you to understand, okay? And with time and with practice, it all will make sense and it will all come together. It will become easier, okay? So just keep that in mind, don't be scared, and watch this video several times if you need to. Also, you can access this exact Excel sheet. I prepared it for you. Just go to my website, the link is down below, download my freebie, and it is in, I think, the last page of my freebie, the link to the drafts dummy accounting sheet, okay? So here is the accounting sheet. Here you have some instructions you can read later. Also, it tells you that this is not financial advice. This is literally what I used when I was starting, and I'm not a professional, just to help you out, okay? And please change it, modify it as you want. And what I want to talk about today is this one, cost of goods, product one. On column D, it's the explanation of what each of these things is, but I will just guide you through it as we go, okay? So on the part one of this video, we spoke about the cost per unit, okay? And I told you I spent $2.59 per unit on my first product, my first first order I did. This is what you see here, $2.59, and then I have converted it to euros because yeah, that's my currency, but you can also just delete that if you want to. So this one we discussed already on part one, and then we spoke about freight forwarding costs, which is this one, shipping costs from China. We also spoke about import tax, which is this one. So these are already covered, and these are the ones that you need to save for. I also talked about new packaging. That's before. That's something you discuss with your supplier. So that's also before. Company start also. So that's all there. Okay, we didn't talk about it, but samples. Yes, samples, it's a minor cost, but you should also save for that, and you should expect to pay between $50 to $300, depending on, the normal is $50. The majority of the products, the supplier will ask you to pay $50 for a sample, which is actually the shipping fee of the sample, but just save for that. But as you can see, we still have quite some costs here that we need to discuss. And these are costs that are important because they cut into your margin. First cost is the FBA cost per unit. And the FBA cost per unit is what Amazon will charge you for fulfilling your order. So if you want to do fulfilled by Amazon, then what you will do is you will receive your items from your supplier and you will send them to Amazon's fulfillment center. Every time an order comes in, Amazon will automatically take care of it and ship it to your clients. And this, of course, you pay for. And this cost depends on the size of the product and how heavy it is. And I actually like to use a tool that tells me how much I stand to pay. So very important cost that you'll need to get is the FBA cost per unit. What I like to do is literally I just chose a random product now. I get the ASIN from that product and then I do the Amazon FBA calculator, cost calculator. I will link it down below as well. You put the ASIN here and then you can see how much this guy is actually paying for their FBA cost. So he pays €2.01 per unit. So then if this would be your product, you would put here €2.01. In my case, it was a little bit more expensive, €4.39, which is significant. So you need to account for that. And this one, FBA cost per unit, times the number of units will give you the FBA cost, which is the overall amount that you are paying for FBA costs in your total order, right? So this is what you have here, and by now we already covered this one and this one as well. FOB cost, this is actually X work costs. Let me change this. So these are all also covered, we just talked about it. And another cost that you'll have that Amazon will put on or take from your margin actually is a referral fee, because your traffic actually is Amazon's traffic and they will charge you for that. And the majority of the categories, Amazon charges 15% of of your sale price. So here that's what you can find. You have 15% of your selling price, and in this case I wanted the overall bulk return on investment for the shipment, so I also multiplied it by 500. But if I would remove the 500, then you see, so per unit Amazon takes €1.95 out of my margin. Let's put this back. So that's it. And then little costs that I have here is shipping to Amazon, and this is when you have your box and you want to send it to Amazon's fulfillment center. You go into Amazon's Seller Central and you create a shipment, and then they give you the shipping label. It's usually very cheap and you send it to them. That's really easy. I still put it here because I want to have my numbers right up to the penny, but it's neglectable as you can see in the grand scheme of things. And then something very important is marketing costs, because most likely most products need some marketing investment. And this product, my first product, actually after the first shipment I did not have to pay for marketing anymore because the competition was kind of bad. So I'm naturally selling even if I don't invest, but most likely you will have to pay for marketing, especially in your very first or first few shipments. So here what I wrote was arbitrarily 300, but actually if you advertise on Amazon, then you're talking about PPC, pay-per-click advertising. And the way it works, the way you should try to predict is that you should aim to have specific ACOs. So let's say when I was running ads for this product, the best that I could get it was that for each unit I only needed to spend 10% of the cost of the units to sell one. So 10% of my margin was going to marketing. So actually I should save 600 or I should expect that 650 euros will be out of my total profit because I will spend it on advertising, on marketing, right? 10% is actually really good. So let's say in your very first campaigns, maybe you get 40%. Granted, probably not all of your units will be sold through advertising, so we can make like 50% of your units will be sold and you will get maybe that has the 40% ACOs. Now, this is something you should not aim for, that it's that bad, but yeah, this is something that you should also then perfect for your second campaign. You will have a much better idea of how much it costs you to sell one unit, okay? And then you should adjust your projections accordingly. Yeah, so that covers marketing costs. And that's pretty much everything that we have here. If you sum all of the costs, then your cost per unit is 11.64 in this case, and your profit per unit is 3.5 euros almost. You profit 1.6k out of your initial inventory. Now, this is the very basic version. That is perfectly fine if you're just starting out. However, if you scroll a little bit down, you will find a more advanced version that I will not guide you through today because I don't want you to be confused, but essentially what this second version includes, it includes also VAT costs, and VAT can be a little bit more complicated because if you're a company, you sometimes have to pay for VAT, but then you can get it back, and you need to charge VAT to your consumer, and then you do the balance. It's a little bit complicated, and also I'm not a tax advisor, but as you get more into your business and you do research and you look for professional advice on this topic, then you should definitely include your VAT in your calculations, and you can use this model. This is still the model that I use whenever I'm doing my calculations per shipment. And the reason why I like to look at things per order is because sometimes when I launch a product, I need to launch it a little bit cheaper than the market average, but I know that maybe on my second order I will already be able to compete on the market price. Maybe sometimes also marketing costs sometimes are a little bit higher on the first order, but because I have a little bit more experience, I understand that in the second order maybe I can tone that down a little bit. So I really like to do the projection per order, because even if it's like break even or even a little bit unprofitable in the first order, I need to make sure that it is profitable in the long run. And if I don't get that, then maybe it's not worth it to invest, or I just like to have that sort of view. So yeah, everything's here. I would really like to hear your comments. Like, let me know down below if you have questions on this. What are your questions? Because I can do a part 2 of this video in which I just explain like the questions and I go into the details of this, whatever you think is not clear, because for me, I created it, of course it is clear, but maybe you think differently and maybe there's something else that you would want to see clarified. So you can grab the sheet down below. The link will be in my description for my free resources. You can find it on the last sheet or the second to last sheet of my free resources. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next time. I hope this was helpful. Bye.